What's up? This is Derek.
Jamie Madrock.
Man, this your man's Obi Trice.
This is Ad-Lib.
Yo, what up? This is Spex One.
This is Spesh K.
Hot Rock's motherfucking Skot MC.
Breaking
Wreckords.
Breaking Records Radio out here.
This is Breaking Records Radio.
Check them out, man.
Yo, what's up? It's your man Maloney, Breaking Records Radio, and the place to be. You know what it is. And we got a special guest with us right now, calling in from L.A., California. Let the people know who you are, my man.
Yo, what's up with y'all, man? Your boy Jazoe Da Juggernaut, you feel me, man? Calling from Southgate, California, man. Much love, much love.
Hey. And so, to give the people a little bit of history, we actually met when I was just down in L.A. a couple months ago. We performed at the same show, We the West, at the Airliner.
Yeah, we sure did, man. That's where, you know what I'm saying? We linked up, man, and it was all love. I appreciate that, for real.
Yeah, no doubt, man. You were probably, I would say you're probably the best performer that night. Like, I was mad digging your shit, and then, you dropped the one joint that I was crazy feeling, and we've actually played on the show a few times now, but that's Coast to Coast, and that's produced by Jimmy
that's
Kendrick.
love, hell yeah.
Hey.
That's love, for real. Yeah, that's Coast to Coast, man, produced by Jimmy Kendrick. You know what I'm saying, out of New York City, man. Real humble dude, man. Met him out in Miami, and you know what I'm saying, and we've been working ever since then. You know, took me under his wing, and he said, let's go.
Oh, word, eh? So you guys met out in Miami.
Yeah, we met in Miami. I was out there doing Coast to Coast in Miami, and I've been going about a couple years already. That's actually when I started taking his music more seriously. I did Coast to Coast in New York a few years back, and ended up winning second place out of 54 artists out of this competition, which landed me a spot in Miami, and I ended up in Miami, and yeah, man, I just been grinding and work. Ended up linking up with him at an event out there in Miami, and we exchanged numbers, and you know what I'm saying, I was serious about getting it in, and he was serious about you know what I'm saying, taking somebody under their wing that really wanted it. So that's how it all started.
Oh shit, man, that's dope. That's dope. For the people that may not be aware of Jimmy Kendricks, because he's a legendary producer, but let the people know a little bit about his accolades.
Oh man, I wouldn't even know where to start, man. We can go anywhere from Wu-Tang Clan to 50 Cent to Patti LaBelle, Ja Rule, Murder Inc., the whole camp right there. Shine, man. If he was listening right now, he'd probably be throwing names out, man. But the list goes on and on, man. He's definitely been a part of the building of hip hop, and yeah, man, he's been in the game for a while. So being able to link with him was a real honor, real blessing. You know what I'm saying? And it's just something that not everybody gets a chance to do. So when it was opened up for me, I was like, let's get it.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, that's a big opportunity, man, and that's huge. And that joint. So, because you guys are working on an album right now, right?
Yeah, we're definitely working on an album. We started off with one track, which is Coast to Coast, and then from there we said, let's go ahead and keep it going. So we've kept the relationship going. So we're working on an album right now. We're about 3 songs in. We're actually probably gonna drop 9 to 11 tracks on that album, and it'll all be produced by Jimmy. And yeah, man, we're gonna see what we could do, you know what I'm saying? Just try to bring back some more quality hip hop, what I would say it is. You know what I'm saying? Not to knock what's going out there, but you know, where the generation I came up in, it was just a little different. You know, and there's a lot of complaints as far as complaints to myself too, where music is going. So I mean, the best way to try to fix that is do it yourself, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's the thing. There's enough money out here for everybody now. Like, I think people get blindsided by the fact, you know, like Lil Pump gets 800 million views and stuff, but they don't really look at it from the perspective as like, you can just stay true to you, do the music you like, gain a following, and live off that. Like, yeah, you might not be getting 8 million views, but you know, like that's for the kids. You know what I mean? Like that's never been the real hip hop. Like the biggest artists, for the most part, have never really been. You know, the guys selling the most records each year generally never really been the purest artists.
Right. And actually what you're saying is right, man. You know, the whole generation, the whole thing has changed when it comes to the views and you know what I'm saying, being popular on social media in order to even be heard, or people won't care about wanting to hear your music. And, you know, that's something that I refuse. I mean, if people follow me on social media, man, I have mad fun on social media. But I stopped taking it so seriously when it came to trying to intertwine it with the music. I mean, because you're right, it is for the young. It is for the young kids, and I'm not out here, you know what I'm saying, trying to compete with nobody, especially some young kids, man. You know, it's like a numbers game now, but I'm staying true to just doing the music the way I love. You know what I'm saying? Music for people, for everybody. You know, not necessarily my generation or any other generation, but you know, just a little bit more quality, man. Where it makes sense to a lot more people, because not everybody lives the lifestyle of what these kids are talking about, you know? So I just try to keep it genuine, and everything that's reality, hopefully it touches in with some people's lives.
Word up, man. Word up. And so that being said, too, they can find the music video for Coast to Coast on YouTube right now.
Yes, you can find that on YouTube on my page, which will be Jazoe Da Juggernaut. You can go ahead and Google that. It'll come up too. Anybody need help? But yeah, you just go ahead and type in Jazoe Da Juggernaut.
And that's
you got a list of all the new stuff that I've been doing, including that Coast to Coast track. And then we have a new one actually coming out pretty soon. It's called Desperado, which is called Desperate. And it's basically touching on what we just said right now, how desperate people are to become famous on social media, and the steps they take, you know, to what they feel will make them famous. So, you know, the desperation in just the music industry right now that I feel. Or it actually talks about that.
Word. And that's the next joint off you and Jimmy's album?
Yes, it is. That'll be the next one coming out.
Okay.
It's actually done right now. It's in post-production as far as getting everything done, and I'm going to go ahead and be knocking out the video with my video man, Shooter Rick. Shooter Rick is a real important person right now in everything that I'm doing. He's been dropping all my visuals, and he really touches in with what I'm speaking. You know, he can visualize and show the world what I'm speaking through his work, through his craft. So it's a blessing.
Okay, dope. Well, yeah, definitely keep us posted with the new joint once you guys put it out. You know, we'll blast it for show.
Much love. Thank you.
No doubt, man. But speaking of your video guy, you just put out a new video a couple weeks ago, and that's the drunk driving video.
Yep.
Was that done by
drunk driving? I hate that song. That song was just something that I was just feeling, and I'm like, you know, I'm gonna have some fun with this. And we actually dropping that track about maybe a year and a half ago, 2 years ago.
Oh shit! Okay.
And you know, part of this whole social media thing is I know people watch social media, but they look at the numbers, you know. So I'm like, you know, I'm gonna actually have fun, and I'm gonna pull out an old track, and we're gonna do a video for it, just to see what we do with it. And you know, Shooter Rick once again laced it up perfectly, and people are paying attention now to this old track to the point where they think it's a brand new one.
Yeah.
So he did a real good job. But yeah, Shooter Rick, man, he's a great artist from out here in LA. He's now in Las Vegas. So if anybody in Las Vegas needs him, you know what I'm saying, contact Shooter Rick. But yeah, man, he's a real blessing and does real great work.
Word, man. Yeah, that video looked incredible. And I noticed it was in Vegas.
He made it look like I'm fine.
But yeah,
he did a great job as always. So yeah, he did a blessed job. Thank you.
Yeah, incredible job on that video. And so one thing I was gonna ask too. So I guess if that's off an older, that's an older song. So like, is that off like one of your old albums then?
Yeah, well, I actually have my very first album that I dropped. The mixtape I dropped about a couple years ago. It's called The Birth.
Okay.
Basically, what The Birth is the birth of me becoming an artist, the birth of me becoming a new person, a new man, a new father, just a whole change in me. The Birth album actually touches in all the monkeys on my back, all the things. I mean, you know, being a drug addict, being an abuser to my wife. A lot of the things that a lot of people just wouldn't reveal to their audience, you know what I'm saying? And this is me telling you this is who this is who I was. Now let me show you the birth of the new me.
Yeah.
And the change and everything about me. And hopefully, you know what I'm saying, you guys appreciate the change in me, and let's get it, you know?
Word, that's dope. I like that concept, man. And
yeah, definitely. And then from that album, when I started, so we dropped The Birth, and then my first track after the Birth album was Resurrection, which I sent you the video of. Which has my son in it with me, and that touches on, you know, everything I spoke on in the Birth and what's new to come with Jazoe Da Juggernaut.
Word up, man. And so with the Birth too, where do you have that on like all the streaming services and all that stuff, or how can people get a hold of that project?
I'm actually gonna re-release it on all media platforms. I had just hard copies that I was just distributing out through the streets, just through hard copies, going to shows, passing out hard copies. Actually going to coast, all the way from New York to LA and in between. Actually just, you know, that grind, like back in the days, man, trying to stay away from the social media thing and shake hands with people and introduce myself formally. You know, put a face to the voice, and just interact with people. So that's how I started. But I am actually going to be re-releasing it on all social media, on all platforms.
Okay, dope. Yeah, that's one thing I think a lot of people, you know, with the internet age now too, and like we were talking about some of the younger generation, like they think they can just pop off on Instagram and all this shit, and then like, you know, like yeah, some people can, and once you get a following on there, you get tons of views and shit. But what a lot of artists who, especially the artists who should be developing themselves, not the artists that are like one-hit type cats, the one thing they lack is going to shows and meeting people and networking. Like that's the most important thing, and a lot of people don't really don't dive into that part of the game anymore. So that's one thing I thought was dope about you, because when we met too, you're like, yo, like, you know, you ever got shows in Toronto and shit, you're like, I'm about this. Like, I'll travel, you know, I go to New York, I go to Vegas, you know, like, you're like, I'm about this. And I think that's one thing that a lot of people really, you know, lack in today's generation is that work ethic. Like, you got to get out, exactly like you said, meet people, shake hands, put the face behind the voice, you know what I mean?
Definitely. I think people just feel too comfortable behind the screen.
Yeah.
You know, and I use my social media, I used to use my platform as a different method of stuff, and I kind of sat back and listened to people's either complaints or whatever, and, you know, it's like, you know, social media is it can fool you, you know, and it leads people to think differently. Yeah, I could get famous off this screen. You know, whatever I do off this screen, I'm gonna be famous, and it kind of takes away to. I mean, I'm a firm believer, man, that like there's pioneers out here that made it very, very in your face. That hard work, man. Like E40 to me is the top when it comes to the real grind of doing everything independent and handshaking. You know, he's a handshaker. He goes out there. You don't see much from him on social media, but he's always out doing something. You know, so I kind of stay with that, man, because people get comfortable behind the screen and thinking that's the only way, and it's not, because there's 40 million other people doing the same thing you're doing right now.
Exactly.
So, you know, I try to keep it back to the old ways. And, I mean, I get the criticism about that ain't going to work. Times have changed. But, I mean, if you learn to mix the old with the new, you know what I'm saying, that it might work. You know, you just kind of have to figure it out.
Everything's about balance. But that's the thing, too. It's like you said, you know, if you're just trying to pop off the internet, there's 40 million other people, and you got to stand out. But the thing that a lot of people, I think, especially the younger generation, don't take an accountability is, it's not what you know, it's who you know. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And nobody's going to help you out, at least 9 times out of 10, if they never met you. You know, you got to get those personal relationships, shake hands, and, you know, really meet the people for, you know, to build.
Yes, that's definitely what it is. I mean, basic, plain and simple. Like, you know, there's people that have been in this game, and I mean, to them, Jimi Kendrix is not a big person. To me, I follow Jimi Kendrix. I grew up to the music that he was creating in the studios with people, and it's like, I never would have met him if I would have been behind my camera.
Yeah.
You know, it took me investing money in myself, hearing the criticism, telling my wife, like, look, babe, believe in me, like, let's do this, like, let me do this, you know, and she let me take trips to myself from New York to Miami, and basically everything that's been happening in my life has been me taking a trip, investing some money, going out there and shaking hands. You know, it's like you look at your social media and you get, you know, 20-something likes when you know there's 100 or 1,000 people that seen it. But, you know, they get stuck on the 20-something or when they get high numbers. It's like, you know, I go through social media and click the like button just because whatever. Who cares, you know? So
I'm the same way, because that's one thing I
actually
think.
going out and shaking hands and, like I said, meeting Jimi Kendricks and, you know, Rock Wilder, I've also met. You know, there's just some other people that I've been able to meet through going out and just really hitting the streets. Hitting the pavement, man. Like when you want a job, you hit pavement. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, and that's actually a good example too. Like when I moved up to Toronto, I handed out thousands of applications online for jobs. Never got shit. It wasn't until I went out walking around, you know, for fucking 2 hours. Next thing you know, you get called by 30 people, because when you have that face-to-face interaction, people can really, you know, they're not just looking at you based off your credentials or based off your numbers in the, let's say, the rap game, but they're like, yo, I really dig this person. Like, this person's got potential. He's got drive. Like, yo, let's build.
Exactly. It's just different, you know. Like, I trip out of my nephews. You know, I got a lot of young nephews, and it's like, Uncle, you got a new video? Like, yeah. How many numbers does it have? And I'm like, what? Like, who cares? Like, why are you asking me that before you even checked out the music? And that's what I feel that sucks these days, is that people feel that if your numbers ain't up, they ain't gonna check you out, you know? So I feel if you go out there and you stand in their face, you know, there's places where I've gone in downtown LA, actually where I'm just opening a new retail store for my clothing brand. You know, I'm opening a store out there, and it's just like, I catch people out there riding bikes with their big boom boxes, and I'm pulling them over, like, hey, check this out real quick, you know, like, while you're riding around the city, play this. Yeah. You know, and it's just like, it's interacting with people, and it's just different, you know? I mean, me personally, I appreciate meeting people and shaking somebody's hand and building a relationship that way, you know what I'm saying? It's just more genuine to me than behind the screen. To me, behind the screen isn't genuine.
No, not at all. And that's the thing, and it's like, you know, and that's why I think you get a lot of, you know, everybody knows those rappers who spam you on fucking, right? Your inbox be like, yo, peep my new video and shit like that. You're like, come on, fam. Like, you never even said what up to me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, it's just...
Exactly. That's definitely what it is, and it's you know, it's I mean, I guess it's just a new game, you know what I'm saying? But if you're smart enough and you understand it, that it's a game, you know, one person that really opened my eyes about this whole social media shit being a game, bro, and many people might disagree, is the kid Tekashi 6ix9ine, man.
Yeah.
That is one kid that I stepped back and said, you know what? Beyond the bullshit that he's doing, there's something that he understands already about the game and his social media. Yeah. And he proved that manipulating social media is simple, you know? It's very simple to manipulate people's brains on social media. He had half the West Coast in an uproar. Yeah. You know?
And that's
off of a screen, things he was doing behind a screen.
Yeah. And that's the thing too, and that's actually like when we were talking about like there's 40 million other people out there, and I'm like, yo, you gotta find a way to stand out between them. That's exactly what he did. You know, I mean, the rainbow hair, all that crazy shit.
You know, and I started to study him, because I'm like, look, at the end of the day, you got to respect the kid, because he has a good team behind him that understands how to do this, and he knows how to do it himself. Like, I'm a firm believer that there's something, there's that what's the word I'm looking for? There's that potion, you know, that you have to figure out what it is to get in this shit, bro. And right now it's the social media thing, and he understood how to get to it. Yeah. You know, he understood it. And there's kids out there that are understanding it, and I mean, I'm going to say straight up, that don't have the talent, but they have the understanding of how to make these numbers happen. Yep. You know, and it's just like, nowadays I feel that these kids have figured out the remedy, the potion to make these numbers happen, and then now they're becoming rappers, which makes this rap industry like simple, as long as you just figure out how to get these numbers. Exactly. You just got to find the way to maneuver. Yeah, that's it. And it's, you know, for artists like me and other artists out there that really don't follow that, you know, it's probably frustrating, I could say, on my end, because I'm not going to try to compete against numbers, but I mean, it is what it is these days, you know? Yeah. At the end of the day, I think... do what I do. Yeah. At the end of the day, I think, you know, for artists like us, who, you know, we're not trying to ride waves, I think that
the way you're doing it is the way to do it. You got to go out there, meet people in different areas, build relationships, and genuinely develop fans, like people who really actually like the music. Because once they like it, they'll check it, you know what I mean? And they'll follow you, and that's what it is, you know what I mean? But
yeah, definitely.
one thing I did want to touch on, though, you brought it up, was the new retail store you're opening.
Yeah, man, that's I think this is the biggest fear I've ever had in my life right now. It's scary, but you know what I'm saying? Fear is a man-made emotion. You know what I'm saying? Fear's not real. People always tell me, "Are you ready? Are you ready?" But I don't think we're ever ready for anything in life. We'll never know until we do it.
Yep.
And that's where I'm at right now with this retail store. You know, I've made my clothing brand. My clothing brand is called Knack Inc. Knack. When you have a knack for something,
Yeah.
with the natural and acquired skill. So basically, what it is, man, is trying to get people to understand that there's something inside of you that makes you who you are. You just got to figure out what it is, work hard on it, and achieve it. You know what I'm saying? And that's basically what it is. That's what Knack Inc. is. So you know, it's just a movement, man, to help people embrace like they talents. They got something inside of them. I'm a believer that, you know, there's no programs and stuff out here to influence these kids to creativity. You know, the schools are taking away everything. After school programs, so it's like the kids and people just don't really have something to say like, man, I could work on this. I could do this craft, or I could, you know, it's just, that's what it is. So, you know, so that's what we have is Knack Inc. And it's about 8 years since we've been working on this. It started off as my son being a skateboarder and wanting to be a sponsored skater, which is hard work. And I said, you know what? I didn't want him to be discouraged. So I said, we're going to start our own brand. Since you're working so hard, and that's what it's going to be.
Right.
And, I mean, as a teenager, he started bouncing around through other things, but I kept it going. So, I mean, we started off from a cardboard stencil to now we opening up a store in downtown L.A.
Yo, that's big, man. Congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate that. You know, it's going to be a family thing, something for my family so we could all be a part of this and just help build it. You know, my family's really starting to believe in me a lot more. Which is a real blessing, and you know, my wife stood behind me 1,000% on this opening of this store, and so we're gonna go ahead and open it up early 2019. We're gonna go ahead and do that.
Real dope, man. Real dope. And can people buy the clothes online right now before you have the storefront open?
We are actually by the middle of maybe like about 2 weeks, we'll be opening up the online. I've made my clothes available at one point, and then I made them unavailable. I literally stepped back and I made it impossible. You can't get it.
Yeah.
You can't get it. You know, and that's when people started asking for it more because I wear it in my shows. You know, everything I do, I live it.
Make it exclusive, kind of like Supreme.
Catching on.
Like
I mean, the way we did it was color schemes through tennis shoes. So I'm a tennis shoe guy. So you know, all our color schemes through clothing is to match shoes. So yeah, the way I will be actually opening up the new webpage with a bunch of new designs and whole kind of stuff, and it'll all be available hopefully by the 1st.
Okay, dope, man. Well, keep me posted on all that as well too, because you know we'll drop the links and stuff for people so they can check it out.
Much love. Hell yeah, let's get it.
Yeah, no doubt. And before we wrap it up, though, one other thing I did want to touch on is you got a new mixtape you're working on as well, too, Drip or Drown, with Lil Draws.
Yep. Yeah, so that's my boy Lil Draws out of Watts, California. You know what I'm saying? He has a movement also called Drip Gang, which I have become a part of. And we just push, man, do music. Very involved in the 420 community and all the shows and events that go on throughout California, basically, to the marijuana community. And, you know, we just been working, man. We think we got 12 songs in on this one.
Oh, shit.
Within a year, you know. So we've been working real hard, just trying to bring out some different quality music. A different sound. I mean, his sound is very different from mine, but when we just got together, everything just worked. You know, he comes from the projects, a whole different background than me, but we share similar stories, and we found a way to combine our lives together and bring it out to everybody. So yeah, the album is called Drip or Drown.
Okay, dope. And do you guys got any like idea when you guys will be releasing that, or is it still just kind of in the works?
That'll also be dropping in the beginning of the year.
Okay, dope. And once again with that too, you know, keep me posted. We'll love to play some of the joints on here and all that.
Much love.
No doubt, man. But before we get out of here, just let all the people know how they can find you on social media and all that stuff to follow you.
So my name is Jazoe, Jazoe Da Juggernaut. You could basically, like I said in the interview, which surprised myself, you can just Google it and you'll get anything you need. But on all social media, it's either Jazoe Da Juggernaut or the clothing brand, which is Knack Inc. And you spell that Knack.